Hey, awesome people. Welcome back. Mr. C here. We are in our 4th grade fractions learning series. Make sure if you learn anything new today, click the like and subscribe button as we continue making math understandable and challenging. Today's video is going to focus on the 4th grade learning standard of equivalent fractions. And with that being said, this video is going to be our practice problems video. So if you are missing the teaching video, it is in the descriptions below. So check those out. This video will just be practice problems on how to create equivalent fractions using the 4th grade learning standards. In the description below as well, you will find all of our 3rd grade fractions videos. We have done several of those. Check those out below. We even went all the way back to the 2nd grade learning standards. So all of those videos are in the description. Check them out if you haven't had a chance so you can catch up with where we're at in our 4th grade series. Like I said, this video is going to be our 4th grade equivalent fractions practice problems. Let's get started. Alright, here we go. We've got a fraction 4/6 up here. I have 2 fraction models. Notice they are the same size, so that's really important. Before you start solving this one though, make sure you have the correct mindset. Make sure you have a growth mindset. Make sure you're ready for something new, ready for a challenge. You're going to use your mistakes to help you get better. Alright, you're not going to quit just because something gets a little difficult. Persevere, stick with it, ask people for help, and keep working. Alright, let's do it. Excuse me. So here we go. First fraction problem. I want you to divide this up into 4/6. All right, let's make 6 equal sections here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The numerator tells us how many to color in. Let's color in 4 of the 6. So it should be, let's get a darker blue there. Sorry about that. There we go. Alright, so I colored in 4/6. Now let's see if we can make an equivalent fraction down below. So if you haven't, feel free to pause this and give this one a shot here. See what you can do. See if you can make an equivalent fraction. I'm going to give this one a shot as well. So pause me if you need to and then rejoin me. So hopefully you tried this one on your own. If not, we can do it together. Got to divide this up into some equal sections. What I'm going to do is I'm going to divide these, basically all of these sections, all 6 of these sections, in half. Okay, so I'm going to try to make 12 equal sections. And notice they're really small, but I think I should be able to get 12 in. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Boom, I did it. All right, so I've got 12 equal sections in here. Notice I need to color in this many. All right, I can kind of eyeball that, but you can see that's how many I'm going to color in right there. So I'm going to color in that many, and we're going to see how many that actually is. So let's color it in. Favorite part of it right here. All right, now take a look. How many do you see? How many did we color in there? We know our denominator is 12. Let's figure out what our numerator is. How many do we have colored in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm seeing 8 out of 12. What do y'all think? I think we may be on to something. So let's see if we can prove that though with some multiplication. Okay, because if you remember in our last video, I kind of showed you kind of what we're moving towards, and where you're going to get to eventually is that you're going to be able to create equivalent fractions without having to do this model. But right now it's a good strategy to do the model and then see if it also works out over here. And again, there is more than just multiplication to find equivalent fractions. You can also divide. And we'll talk about that later on. We're just going to work on the multiplication right now. So how in the world is 4 going to become 8? How is 4 going to become 8? Well, we're going to multiply by 2, right? 4 times 8 equals 4 times 2 equals 8. Now, same thing down here on the bottom. We got to multiply whatever we multiply the numerator by, we multiply the denominator by the same thing. So 6 times 2 is going to equal 12. And what I want to prove to you here is, notice when we're multiplying by 2, what is happening is that the sizes of this fraction model have gotten smaller. Do you notice how for 4/6 the pieces are a lot bigger than in our fraction model 8/12? And that's what happens. Okay, when you're making equivalent fractions and you're going to multiply, all right, when you multiply to make an equivalent fraction, the sizes of the equal pieces are going to get smaller and smaller. All right, and I'm sure you can figure out if we divided, what would happen to the pieces. And you'll see that later on. But when we divide to make an equivalent fraction, the pieces are going to get bigger. All right, and so that's just something to kind of keep in your back pocket because that's something we're going to use later on. Notice fraction models are the same size. The difference is the equivalent fractions, when we multiply it, they're going to get smaller. The pieces are going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. All right, so let's try. Got 2 more for you. Let's try the next one. All right, here we go. The next problem. We've got 2 fraction models. They are the same size. The fraction is 2/5. Let's go ahead and draw that on our fraction model here. I'm going to get rid of the grid behind it. So we need 5 equal sections. I'm going to draw mine with this ruler. I kind of have a little cheat sheet here a little bit. So there's 1, 2, still can't quite get it straight, 2, 3, and it looks like I got to restart mine. This is always tough for me. 1, 2, 3. There we go, that's better. Do I have 5 now? Whoops, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like I do have 5. So what I want you to do is color in this section here. We need 2/5 colored in, so let's do that. There's 1 equal section, 2 of the equal section, so there's 2/5. Okay. Now, I want you to pause me and try to make an equivalent fraction over here on your own. Go ahead, pause it. All right, hopefully you paused me and you tried this one on your own. If not, if you're a little stuck, let's do it together here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this into probably like 10 sections. Let's see. All right, I'm going to divide this into 10 sections. Even with the straight line, I still struggle at times to actually get a straight line, just like that one there. There we go. Goodness, I'm going to freehand it. There we go. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That looks terrible. I'm going to give it one more shot. Let's see. If I do it this way, let me copy this over. Give me a second. I'm going to copy this one over here. Oh man, it wouldn't let me copy it. Alright, bear with me. Let's see if I can get it right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There we go. Again, not perfect. So let's take a look and see. Here is kind of where I'm eyeballing it at. So I need to color into right there. Let's go with a yellow color this time. So we're going to color in till we have equivalent amounts in both models. The reason we can do that is because both models are the same size, so we can do this. Now, how many are y'all seeing that are colored in? How many are y'all seeing that are colored in? I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4 of them colored in. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing 4 of them colored in. Now, how many are there total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Looks like we've got 4/10. Now, let's prove that these two are equivalent fractions by using a little bit of math here. So, remember, we're working on the multiplication piece of it. We'll talk about division later on. Notice that in the fraction 2/5, how big the pieces are compared to in the fraction 4/10, how much smaller each of the equal sized pieces are. So that means we're going to be multiplying because these pieces are getting smaller. So 2 times what will give you 4? 2. 2 times 2 equals 4. Whatever we did to the numerator, we're going to do the same thing to the denominator. So 5 times 2 is going to give you 10. These two fractions are equivalent. There's the model, and here is the math to prove it. All right, got one last one here for you. Let's try it out. So here's the last one I have for you. This one's going to be our challenge for today. I've got 3 different models here, and the fraction we have is 1/2. So what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can create 3 equivalent fractions for the fraction 1/2. All right, so let's try this one out. It's definitely going to be a challenge, so let's do this. So we've got 1/2 here. I'm going to color it in. We're going to see if we can create 2 other equivalent fractions for 1/2. So feel free to pause me and see if you can create 2 more, and then we'll do some together. All right, hopefully you paused me and you did this one on your own. If not, that is okay. We're going to see if we can create some more equivalent fractions for 1/2. So I'm going to take 1/2 and I'm going to break it up into another half. So there we go. Let's color this one in. How many sections? I need color in this bottom half of it. So let me color in the bottom half of this model, because that's what we did for 1/2. All right, let's figure this fraction out here. What are you seeing? How many pieces do we have in this fraction? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So our denominator is 4. What's our numerator? How many are colored in green? Well, 2 of them are colored in green. So here's one equivalent fraction, maybe. We're going to prove it with some math here in a second. Now let's see if we can create one more over here. All right, let's try one more. So we broke this one into 2 sections. We broke this one into 4 sections. Honestly, you can break this one into, there's a lot of different options, but I'm just going to kind of keep going by 2s because we did 2, we did 4. I could do 6 maybe here. Yeah, I can maybe do 6, but I think I'm going to keep going actually. I think I may go with even further. So there's 6 sections, but see, these 2 aren't equivalent yet, so let's keep going. Boom, there we go. All right, I need to color in the bottom half of this circle, so let's color in the bottom half of it. I'm going to go with this orange. Color in this bottom half, and then we'll see how many pieces we have total and how many we colored in. All right, how many pieces are there total? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 pieces total. And how many of them are colored in orange? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them are colored in orange. Here we go. Let's see if we can do the math for all 3 of these and excuse me, prove that they are equivalent fractions. So let's take a look. I'm going to change colors. Let's go with a purple. How are we going from 1 to 2 and 2 to 4? Well, by now you're probably realizing to do that we're multiplying by 2 on the numerator, and then on the denominator here we're also multiplying by 2. Notice the reason we're multiplying by 2 is because we have broke it into smaller pieces. We've kind of divided it even further in half. This model we broke into half, and then we broke into half again. Well, what do you think we did here on this one? How did we go from 2 to 4? Well, we multiplied by 2. We took this and we broke it in half again. All right, we just keep breaking it in half. And notice, on each of these models, what happens to the size of the pieces? They get smaller and smaller and smaller. And you could keep going and create more and more equivalent fractions, but I just want to kind of show you this one as a challenge. And remember, if we were to go the other direction, if we were to go from 8 to 4, we would have divided by 2. And that's the new thing that we're going to be working on later on. I just want to kind of get you started on that, though. Something to think about. All right? Make sure you rewatch this video if you need to. Try some more equivalent fractions on your own. Equivalent fractions is something that's really important to understand, especially as we work more on fractions, but eventually when you move to decimals as well. All right? Make sure, if you learned anything new in this video, click the like and subscribe button. Join us as we continue making math understandable and challenging. That's all I have for you today in this video, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. C, out.